Good afternoon. My name is Jason Bazeron. I am the chair of the IMCP Americas Committee. I'd like to welcome you to our member success call for the month of May. We got a couple great speakers, a lot of great information, so we'll go ahead and jump into what our agenda is going to look like today. While we start with an overview, then we're going to have our membership partner-to-partner success story. We're going to then go to our secret sauce, which is information we'd like to provide to help our members be more successful. And then we'll go into some information about advocacy and member survey, along with some upcoming events, best practices, and getting involved, and then finishing up with some Q&A. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce our America's Secretary, Ms. Sandra Knight, and she is going to facilitate our member-to-member success story.
Thanks, Jason. If you could move to the next slide for me.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope everybody's having a great afternoon. We have a couple of great speakers for you today. First, I'd like to introduce Amy Cisse. She is the CEO and founder of Cisse IT Solutions. Say hi, Amy, to everybody.
One.
And also we have with us today, and let's see if I can get his webcam going. We have Xavier Amasi, the president, CEO, and chairman of BizTech Fusion. Say hi, Xavier.
Everyone. Good afternoon.
Thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Both Amy and Xavier are from the DC chapter, hence the DC nice photo there in the background. I want to thank both of you for joining us today and giving us a little insight into your P2P partnering with IMCP. Amy, let's start with you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your company?
Sure. My name is Amy Cisse. I focus on lots of SharePoint implementations for clients. So as CEO and founder, we expanded our services from just SharePoint on-premise solutions to, of course, lots of migrations to Office 365. And that includes, of course, Power Apps, Teams, Flow solutions to help companies work more efficiently, and of course, training so that the users can be empowered to use the tool successfully.
That's great. And Xavier, what would you like to say about yourself and your company?
Well, I feel like I speak a lot about myself every day. So beyond the basic stats of being the president of BizTech and a subject matter expert in the field of discipline, I think I demonstrate my propensity to build by cultivating mutually beneficial relationships and creating sustainable opportunities for others, and just contributing to growth in any way that I see that I can. Our business, I think we're really purveyors of trust, and that we cater to our clients' best interest in trying to tackle their most complex and challenging problems, and to achieve objectives by bringing to bear our advanced level skill set. So that's what we are in a nutshell.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And Xavier, why don't you tell us how you first got involved with the IMCP?
Well, I was attending a Microsoft conference in Orlando about 8 years ago, and I was sold on the benefits of becoming an IMCP member by another member, devout Mr. Thomas Vesk from Best Partners. And we were connected by a mutual constituent of ours to connect at that conference. Hit it off right away. And, while we were at the conference, I saw some of the benefits of being an IMCP member by virtue of access to, top level Microsoft contacts, and being able to have some breakout sessions so we could get some one-on-one dedicated focus time to discuss some of the challenges and issues that Microsoft partners face.
Perfect. And Amy, when did you first get involved in IMCP, and how did that come about?
So it was 2015 when I became a member of IMCP, and the way that I found out about IMCP was through Nakia Carter. So we were a part of all of the SharePoint conferences and user groups, leading those groups, and we were also we had mutual interest in the groups as speakers and organizers. And so naturally, she mentioned to me IMCP, and I thought it would be a good way to connect with partners. And she wasn't wrong at all, because it was a great thing to do to become a member of IMCP, because I've met so many different partners along the way.
Great. So Amy, why don't you tell me some of the P2P partnering that you've done within the IMCP organization?
Sure. So I have partnered with LCG Tech. I've also partnered with C3 and also Seracom. And so usually it's around supporting their clients' needs for, again, before it was like SharePoint just on-prem, whether it's maintaining server farms or writing custom code or building out applications and solutions inside of either SharePoint on-prem or Office 365. And then we kind of built the partnerships even further as Office 365 expanded to have more of the like migration activities, or even building out those solutions side of 365 as well.
Great. What about you, Exadian? Tell us some of your stories.
Actually, I'm currently working with Amy on several SharePoint customization and web app development projects. So we've been working together for several years now on several different opportunities. And in addition to that, we've been brought into other opportunities by outer region partners like Best Partners, and we also have reached out to like Soho Dragon to bring them into a couple of opportunities that we've had.
So you guys have been doing some P2P partnering, not only within your chapter, but also beyond your chapter.
Yes, that's correct. I think, the advantage of reaching out beyond our chapter is to extend our reach and augment our capabilities in different markets. So say, for example, if we have a client that has a footprint in New York, but we don't really have a presence there, we kind of extend our presence out through our partnerships.
Great. And Amy, I think you were saying when you and Exadian do business together, you guys don't white label each other, right? You actually bring the partner in as a partner for an area of expertise.
Yes, that's correct. And so we've partnered on, I would say, 5 different projects, 5 different engagements. And I would say multiple engagements per client. And so we definitely are very transparent with one another. And I think that's what works very well with us, is that there's nothing that we don't share with each other. We're sharing contracts, agreements, we're sharing statement of works, we're sharing rates that go back to the client. We understand the profit margins across the board. And I think that's what really works well for us. So that's what we do.
Yeah, I'm in full concurrence with that. I think that by being fully transparent, we're able to deepen our relationship from an aspect of trust. I think that we're able to demonstrate to each other that we're really trying to feed the partnership and that we're advocating for each other's growth and success.
That's great. Yeah, because I know some of our partners do it different. Some of them bring the partner in under their umbrella. Others do exactly what you're doing, which is bring in the partner as a area specialist. And then I know some other partners that do both. So it's whatever works the best for your business model and for both companies, right?
Absolutely.
Let's see. Another question for both of you, and either one of you can answer this. Besides being a member, what are the other benefits that you've gotten out of being an IMCP participant?
I especially enjoy the sessions where you learn different aspects that you might not have necessarily, might not be your focus. So for example, DC had, it was an in-person event, I think it was in January of this year, and it was about sales and marketing. That's not something that we do, so it was very informative, and I had lots of side conversations with other companies there as well. And I think that just the interaction that you gain is always very helpful with learning other partners, not just what they do as a service, but then who they are. And so one of the things that I found useful was if I'm at a big conference such as Microsoft Inspire, and I'm at I think it's called the Community Commons area where they have all the different booths.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of form these relationships with other partners, and then you're in a totally different city. You're in Toronto, and now you have this group of people that you can kind of hang out with at the conference or at the networking events, and then they drag you to other networking events, and then you meet other people that they know, and it expands your reach to learning about different partner companies and capabilities and ways you can expand your business.
Great.
Yeah, I
Xavier?
agree. I would just augment that with saying some of the parties and the opportunity to meet people
Yes.
outside of the office so you can get to know them on a personal level. I think that helps to contribute to building that relationship and also having a vested interest in seeing each other succeed. And I mentioned some of the other benefits before in terms of access to focused attention with top ranks in Microsoft, and then participation in dedicated breakout sessions at Microsoft conferences, like Amy said, and also, the learning and knowledge share opportunities that occur at some of the meetings, and then I would say the extended presence and reach in the other markets.
Excellent. It's funny. I was taking a look at the questions that are coming in, and well, the first one really isn't a question; it's a comment, and it's Amy is a rock star. Just so you know, Amy.
Why, thank you.
Another question that came in for both of you, for both speakers, who is your ideal prospect? Tell us who your ideal prospect is, Amy.
Lately it's been government contractors, because we understand the process in which they have to, when they go through their proposal writing phases, we help them with automating that process, because I've seen a lot of proposal processes where people are emailing around a bunch of documents and it's a little chaotic. And then even just from naming conventions to all the files, and then also like routing documents for digital signatures, storing it back in SharePoint. So we understand their experience and also their relationships with other subcontractors and partner companies and their client experience. So usually those are like the ideal clients as of now, because we've been building out a lot of like project-based sites to maintain the full life cycle of the proposals. And I would say medium size as well. And yeah, there's a lot of government contractors in this area. So this DC metro area is always a good fit. But we expand, of course, beyond this area. So that's just some basics of prospective clients that are good for us. And clients that understand technology and why it's beneficial to them is always
Yes.
good. We don't try to force you to use the technology. It's good if they understand how to use it and they're willing to expand, and they're receptive is always helpful as well.
Excellent. Xavier, what about you? What is your perfect client?
Well, I would say I agree with Amy's last comment. Like, our perfect client is those ones that understand the value that technology brings, and then the solutions that we're offering to the table. So we really get a lot of our business from the commercial sector right now. So dealing with other organizations that are tackling complex challenges, and we kind of have a really refined problem resolution skill set, and we've been able to be brought in to solve issues that other people have failed on. So I would say that our ideal client is one that makes decisions based on value and not really on like the lowest price, where we see the government kind of does at times to constrain rates for contractors, and then also that they're on the the leading edge of adoption for technology, because we really get excited about you know, the new technologies that are coming out. So being able to work with those type of solutions, you know, gets us out the bed.
Very cool. Very cool. Another question that came in, and this one is for Amy. Were you a sole proprietor when you started as a Microsoft partner? Did you branch off from corporate and start your own business?
So I was in corporate America, and I actually started the company as I had my full-time job, because I was not prepared to just kind of jump out there. And actually, the best way that I transitioned was becoming a subcontractor, because then I could form these partnerships where people understood how to get the clients. And then I had to learn, of course, how to get those clients. But yeah, that was the way that I transitioned. Yeah, from corporate America.
Great. Another question for you. Are you doing much with Teams, Amy?
Yes.
Lots.
A lot with Teams lately. I love Teams and all the integration pieces with the other apps. And I'm doing a governance doing some governance and planning for some government agencies now. And also for some of our commercial clients, helping them out with training. And they don't have as much user adoption struggles. It's more around how do we use it, and how do we use it for our business purposes, and like integration with Planner and of course SharePoint. Yep.
Great. And Exadian, question came in. Is your company located just in DC, or do you have other locations?
No, actually, our company is headquartered in DC, but we have other locations nationwide. We have I guess our biggest footprints are in this Washington metro area, though. So we have an office in Maryland, and we got one in DC and one in Virginia. But our consultants are distributed geographically worldwide. So hopefully that answers the question.
Oh, cool. That's very cool. Let's see. Tom Bask just made a comment. Let's see. You can get a lot more done if you are willing to give the credit away. When I partner, I let them use their branding if they want. Either way is okay with me. So I guess and then he's quoting Harry Truman. But very valid in many situations outside of politics. Love it. Let's see. What challenges do you see with partner to partner work, and what did you do to resolve them?
You want to take that?
Have you ever had, I know this gets sticky, right? Have you ever had a situation where maybe the partnership didn't go so smoothly and you needed to fix things?
Yeah, so you know, being in business, you have the goods and the bads, right? So you got to ride the waves, you know, the highs and the lows. And I would say that being separate entities, you're going to have your own processes. So the partners that I think work best together are those ones that have processes that align. So say, for instance, with Amy and I, we have a similar set of ethics and integrity. So in terms of like how we kick off a project, I think that process is very similar. But we've worked with other entities where the processes are very, for I guess the most diplomatic way of saying it is kind of all over the board, because the sales cycle seems chaotic. And then in addition to that, I would say that there's long delays between making decisions and actual action taking place. So that makes it difficult to form that partner relationship. And then as you're delivering on that engagement, simple tasks like the simple blocking and tackling in terms of time reporting and you know, status reporting, things of that nature. If the organizations aren't aligned on these processes, it's going to be very tough.
Absolutely. I've got two questions here, and they're basically the same, and I'll ask it to both of you. What partners are you looking to work with to supplement the work you do for your clients? So what is it that you need help with that you'd be looking to partner? Amy, do you want to take that first?
The things that I look at that I know that I don't, I think partnerships go well when maybe it's something that you don't necessarily specialize in. You can get
Right.
some help. So I think that from like a digital marketing perspective, I think that that's something that I look at. Business development, more of that is needed as well. It's less of the technical, but I will partner with a company that does a technology that is different than the technology that I'm focused on, where they have client needs, or I have a client need that fulfills some of the roles that they're working on. So sometimes I get requests, and I just send Xadian an email trying to ask me about fixing a laptop. I have no clue about hardware. So this email is about, can a partner help me with hardware? And Xadian did give me a company that he referred that we've been working with, so it worked out well. But those are some ideas of some of the things that I would look at.
And Xadian, what about
Yeah,
you?
for me, yeah. So we look for some more of the like advanced end customizations for like things like dynamic CRM and business intelligence. And as Amy knows, because we're working on like some Power Apps and Power BI and things like that. Also, an ecosystem of partners to form like a symphony around our core offerings, which is really on the infrastructure technology side of Microsoft. So like we really are strong on that Azure AD stack and the messaging and collaboration content, and also Microsoft Skype for business and teams. But we like to partner with organizations that have proficiencies on turnkey solutions for like AV rooms, so like Crestron, Polycom, Logitech, things of that nature.
And just to piggyback on that, I'm getting a lot of requests for Dynamics too, and that's not my lane. So that would be good too for me as well. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent.
Mhm.
Well, we've got about 5 minutes left here, so let me ask you both one last question here. What would your advice be to a new IMCP member, or even a long-term member, about getting P2P collaboration going? Amy, do you want to take that first?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, once everything clears up and we're able to meet in person, I think that those connections that you form in person is always key, just the conferences and the events. But even I think that if you're on a web conference or if you're online on Twitter and you begin to start seeing the same person's name more and more and, interact, and you can still have engaging conversations online. And I've seen a lot of like LinkedIn live meetings. So I think that engagement is key, because that is the way that you are going to keep growing and learning and building relationships.
Good points.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree with that. I would say also be easy to work with, keep things, above board. And, if you do what Amy suggested, then you'll start to discover where people have gaps, and you can take that into fine tuning your own specialized offering, so you can have a beneficial and marketable skill set to offer partners.
Yeah, it's really about getting involved in the community, right? Attending those monthly meetings, attending the virtual meetings, meetings such as this, right? Where you can learn about different partners and partners from different parts of the country that maybe you could say, hey, that's a fit. I could certainly maybe partner with them. Just like my company, we do CRM, we do the dynamic stack. So now I can add both of you to my list of people to reach out to.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, thank you both for joining us today. I really appreciate your time. We look forward to seeing you on future events and hearing maybe a few months from now or a year from now, revisiting with you guys and seeing what new P2P opportunities have happened for you from being an IMCP member.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for having us. Much appreciated.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, Jason, back to you, my friend.
All right, sorry about that. I had to unmute myself. I want to thank our guest, and again, Sandra, thank you also for assisting with that that interview process, I like to call it. So,
The
speaking
fireside
of which,
chat.
the fireside chat. Speaking of which, though, if you would like to be featured and you have a partner success story you'd like to share, please let us know. We definitely looking to help partners navigate the partner-to-partner success stories and really go through and find other companies you can work with, help expand and grow your business. And so we think it's a great opportunity and looking for great information and stories. So with that being said, we're going to continue on to the next portion of our presentation, which is our secret sauce. And so what we've done is we've featured a secret sauce in every call. And with this, looking to provide information so that members can feel they can be more successful. And so one of the things we want to cover right now is, again, using programs provided by Microsoft. And one of the programs we're going to feature today, and I'm hoping Sandra can assist me with this. We were having a conversation about featuring these different programs. And so wanted to help, again, give information so you feel you'd be successful. So in this particular situation, we're talking about go-to-market. And this is basically a program that when you sign up as a partner, it allows you to basically get some tips and tricks and some things as far as if you look down on the screen right here, the Market Resource Hub, it's custom content campaigns, a campaign to reach more customers, which is a dedicated cloud specialist and referral opportunities. They have the Global Growth Center, which is a partner readiness self-assessment, the Partner Center and Partner Match, and offers for purchases. So if you work your way up to a silver or gold partner, you're able to take advantage of some opportunities as related to your competencies. And so as I go through our next slide, I actually grabbed this from the Partner Center. And inside the Partner Center, you look on the right-hand side, you go to the menu, go to under benefits, and you go to market. And in here is a lot of opportunities that you can enable, and it gives a little bit description about them. So for example, if you want to do a digital marketing content on demand, it's a customizable multi-week social media and email campaign content to generate leads for your business. So if you have a digital marketing content on demand account, you'll need to sign in, and then that program will help you gather some information on what it takes to work with Microsoft and to work with other partners. Just going down the line, you have a smart partner marketing, you have a content hub license, you have partner marketing center, you have geo expansion readiness assessment, and you have a partner to partner readiness assessment. So again, you can go into your partner portal. You can actually go to the Partner Center website also, and I'll go ahead and bring up that screen also to show you what that looks like. If you bear with me here. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry about that. So you should see right now the Go to Market with Microsoft webpage. You sign into this page, and again, you can build a powerful go-to-market partnership. And here's all your different categories: the Market Resource Hub, the Reach More Customers, the Global Growth Center, and the Go-to-Market offers for purchase. And it really kind of walks you through the process. And these are tools provided by Microsoft as part of being a partner that you can use to help increase your business. Sam, do you got anything you'd like to add on that as far as the go-to-market campaigns?
No, there's a lot of information out there. You do have to do some digging, but they've got PowerPoint presentations, they have one-pagers, they have white papers, just about anything that you would need to market your business and company. So definitely dive in there. I do know they're pretty active on the Yammer, the Microsoft Yammer site as well. And I believe they have, it's at least monthly, it might be more often than that, where they have community calls that you can join. So I encourage you to take a look at the Yammer group as well.
Thank you very much. And so again, every month we're going to try to feature some information that you can use that's readily available. This content is free. There are other companies that help kind of manage this process with you if you're interested. And so we want to make sure that you have all these resources available at your fingertips. Going on to the next thing, for those that have not completed it, we are still running our membership survey. We're running this survey until the end of May. And basically, we're looking to gather information for, it's less than 5 minutes, looking to gather information so we can help our IMCP partners be more successful, help make sure they're getting value out of IMCP. They'll be used to create future programs. And at the same time, in an effort of giving back, we're also providing $5 for every survey completed and also an hour of volunteer time. And those hours, I know the board, some of the board members have mentioned they're using these hours. I've also used these hours that when I volunteered, I was able to go in and apply these hours, and we're able to see how much money and how much volunteer time has been given in relation to COVID response and IMCP. And so there's a link for the membership survey right there. We can also post that in the chat so you can go to it. But again, we're looking to give value back to our membership and information like you're seeing today. I'd also like to talk about some upcoming events. On Wednesday, May 27th, we have the America's Member Briefing. You can see our guest speakers here from Women in Cloud. We're gonna have a good conversation. And so the link to register along with the QR code are both on the screen. And so that's an opportunity to get more information. The members briefing are quarterly, and so be on the lookout for these events on a regular basis. Also like to cover some best practices. If you hadn't done so yet, make sure you fill out your profile online. That includes your picture, your contact information about your businesses and all your competencies. Make sure you go into the library and read documents like the Code of Ethics, the Membership Handbook, all great information to help you be more successful. Make sure you claim your listing on imcpindex.us. And also, we want to get involved. Of course, all the chapter meetings are going virtual right now. You also have a great opportunity to attend other chapter meetings. So there's the virtual chapters chapter meeting, along with, I know, Boston, Seattle, a lot of the larger chapters are having some great content on their virtual meetings. So feel free to attend those meetings. Like I talked about, the annual quarter member briefings. These are quarterly at 2 p.m. Eastern on the dates you see right here. Connect to the virtual chapter. I highly recommend that you go search the chapters on IMCP's website and click join on the virtual chapter. They have a 2-hour call every month that has a lot of great content information on it. These member success calls, again, these are the third Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. We're always looking to provide more information and partner stories. And then as far as advocacy and diversity inclusion, the WIT Network, Women of the Channel, and Women in Cloud. You can see all the links to get involved in these different organizations. The more you're seen, the more you know, the more you know, and the more you trusted. And at the same time of being able to build your business, you're also to help get involved, help other partners, help other members, and also give back to the community. With that being said, I'd like to go ahead and go to question and answers for anything that anybody has any other information they'd like to share. And if we have to, we can even unmute your mic and talk about, have a conversation around any questions you guys might have. I want to thank our guests and Sandra for participation, and I open it up for questions. All right. So I'm looking at the questions right here.
I see Carolyn has a question here. Can you go back to get involved? I'm not sure.
I just unmuted Carolyn.
Oh, she wanted to go back to that slide. Okay. Oh, and she wanted to, she said, thanks for giving our virtual chapter a shout out.
Yeah. And I say that when it comes to virtual chapter, I think everybody should make the virtual chapter a secondary chapter. If you don't have a primary virtual chapter, you can actually, I mean, if you don't have a primary chapter, you can actually make the virtual chapter your primary chapter. And so I know in some situations in some of the states, they don't have a local chapter, or if you're, the next local chapter is 2 or 3 hours away, you can either join the closest chapter to you, or you could definitely join the virtual chapter. And so they always have great information and content.
Yeah, I'm a member of both. I think a lot of people that I know that are members are a member of both. I will say that they have really great content around education. They have a great educational content. Their D&I representative is really great. Their marketing with Sharice and she gives some really good advice and best practices and things. Their whole group is excellent, and I always get something new. I come away from those meetings with something new every time. So I do encourage everybody to
Yeah,
join that group.
and Sandra, this month, for the month of June, this is Tara Lynn, the Vice President of the virtual chapter. For the month of June, we are going to be sharing how Microsoft helps veterans utilize Microsoft tech software, the different technologies, and prepare them for work and help them get employed. So it's going to be a full power-packed meeting in the month of June. So we really invite all of you. I'm just now finishing out the back end to get the invitations out, but it's going to be a really great webinar on the first Tuesday of June. So looking forward to that. Had a question. One of the challenges that I have, I've been an IMCP member now for, I guess I'm going on my 5th year. So one of the challenges I have by being a small Microsoft partner, though I work, you guys know I work full time, so then this is on the side, same like what Amy said. I'm not sure about getting my competencies like silver and gold. I think that's one of the things that we really want to focus on in helping individuals know what those competencies mean and how to get them. And so if that's something we can add to our new partner meetings, that would be good. But that's one area that I really think we could benefit from. And then also keeping up on your annual Microsoft partner, what that membership means, and your action pack every year, why that's important. Those kinds of things also would be really helpful.
Well, thank you for that information. We're always looking for topics for these calls and especially in the secret sauce. And so if that's something that, everybody feels would be important information, we could definitely go through the silver and gold partnerships and action pack and those features and all. So that's definitely a great topic we can add for our upcoming call. So thank you. Appreciate that.
Looks like Rumkey's hand is raised. I'm going to unmute.
Okay.
There you go.
Hi.
Hey there.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Jason. I just want to thank you and appreciate, and also want to share with other partners. I signed up, as you recommended with Workspan, and it is really gathering momentum. Okay. Thanks a lot for it.
Hey, would you mind expanding on that a little bit? Kind of talk about what happened there and what you were looking for?
If you recall, we spoke with each other.
Yeah, I'm talking about for the group.
And you strongly recommend. Sorry?
I wanted you to share your story with the group. That way they can understand how some of that works.
Got it. Yeah, this is Ramki. I'm with CEM. We are a Dynamics ISV, particularly focused on HR, payroll, union payroll, construction solutions. So I reached out to Jason on how we can benefit through IAMCP and beyond. He suggested me to take some actions. I had my reservations. I wasn't very sure, but he insisted on it and I followed it. Subsequently, he bothered to, call me up and email and, support me. Also recommended that I go to Workspan as a Microsoft P2P partner, which I did. And I'm very happy that, I did that. And I want to thank Jason for directing me in that direction.
No problem. And again, that's what we're here at IMCP. That's what we're here to do. We're here to help partners get to the resources they need to get to. And sometimes it's going back to the basics and saying, have you looked at this and have you tried that? And so I enjoyed the process and hopefully it helped out. And that's what we hope for. And it may not be the first chance or the second chance. Sometimes you got to do a couple different things depending on what you're trying to accomplish and what your business is. But eventually I think we can get you in the right direction. So appreciate that. I see we had a person ask about WIT technology, WIT being women in technology. I will say that I know the name has changed to the WIT Network, and then I would ask for maybe Sandra or somebody to kind of elaborate on that a little bit more.
Sure. The WIT network used to, well, actually, WIT used to be a special group within IMCP, and a couple of years ago they broke off to form their own organization called the WIT Network. We work very closely with them. We have many members that are members of both. In fact, the executive team has an advisory board, and we have a representative from Women in Cloud, Women in the Channel, as well as the WIT Network as part of that advisory board. So we work very closely together. And we're working on some joint programs together. And the WIT Network does a lot of co-events with the local chapters as well. From an IMCP perspective, when the WIT Network broke away and formed their own subgroup, I guess, what we've done is we established the D&I committee. So we have our diversity and inclusion committee, which Frank V heads up here in the Americas. And we're looking at issues beyond just the woman issue, right? Gender, race, all of that, and want to be a more inclusive organization for all minorities. So the WIT Network is, again, a separate organization now, but we now have our own diversity and inclusion group led by Frank V here in the US.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So I see that, let's see here. I saw somebody asking about the South Florida chapter being out there.
Yep, that is an active chapter. Gerardo is the president of that chapter, and I'll make note of your information here, and we can send you information or have Gerardo reach out to you, Reginald.
So, and then also see Frank had a question around WorkSpan, and I can't see where I can unmute Frank. Can somebody unmute Frank for me and we can chat about that real quick?
Sure. Let me find Frank. Let's see here. There we go. Frank?
Yes, can you hear
Hey,
me?
Frank,
Hey,
I
yeah.
saw your question around WorkSpan.
Yeah. So, I was really intrigued by the gentleman's response about WorkSpan, and I didn't know if we had any information. So, for the other members that are on the call, if there's a link to find out more about WorkSpan, or if maybe on your next member success call, we can have maybe a little bit of that in the secret sauce.
I'll definitely check that out. I know on one of the partner briefings, there was some information about it. The interesting thing is I actually got invited to WorkSpan, and then I've invited people that have asked me about it that I've had a conversation with. I end up inviting them. So I don't know. I know that we're doing a chapter to chapter rollout, but that's definitely something we can get more information on and work on getting information to our members. So that's definitely a great, I'm gonna write that down as another topic to get information on.
All right, thanks.
All right. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. I see somebody wanting to plug the regional call for the 29th, Thomas. I keep saying Thomas, I know it's Tommy, but yes, can
Elliot.
somebody unmute Tommy to
Yep, he's unmuted.
all
Okay.
right.
Go
How
ahead,
you
Tom.
doing? You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
I just wanted to touch base. Let me just turn the volume on the computer this time. I got the headphone set going at the same time. You guys hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
That's better. So this month is a unique month. We got a lot going on. As you can see from the quarterly briefings and the member success call today. So one of the other things that happened over the COVID period, where we were all trying to figure out what's next for us and how to get things rolling and how to keep our meetings going, the Northeast region decided to make a regional call on May 29th between 8:30 and 11. Now, because it was getting such good feedback from everybody, I had said that it's probably a good idea that we start inviting the other chapters, at least at the Eastern region level. So I got a call with Gerardo later tonight. I've spoken to Will, and I'm going to be reaching out to John Rivers hopefully in the next few hours, if we can, and whoever else is on the Eastern. But I was saying if you guys are on this call, I would strongly suggest you check out the imcp.org calendar and participate in that, because that's going to be a real cool moment. We have a great business coach that's been gracious enough to donate an hour of her time to present to us on what she's given to her large enterprise clients on focus and how to stay focused during this time. So that's going to be a really cool moment, and we're going to hopefully be able to really get more of what we've been seeing with face-to-face moments with our partnerships, with our partners across the country and across the regions. So if you guys are able to, keep your eyes peeled on imcp.org's calendar events and look for the regional call on May 29th between 8:30 and 11.
Awesome. Thank you, Tommy. And Tommy, if you want to actually introduce yourself for a second, if you could, just to let everybody know who you are and what you do.
Sure. It's Thomas to you, buddy.
Reading it and saying it as I'm reading it. And when I do it every time, I go, I need to quit doing that.
That's all good. So my name's Tom Vesk. My company is Vesk Partners. We run around New York all day. We make sure people don't need us. And when we're not doing that, we're doing work anywhere between DC and Boston, helping out other partners. Many of you know me as a partner-to-partner vendor. But you know, in the IMCP community, I'm a 20-year member, and my focus now is on the experience of the IMCP members. So I'm the chapter chairman for the experience committee, to make sure that we're training partners how to better partner with others. So if there's anybody on this call that is frustrated with you know, the process of trying to figure out how do I find a partner that does this, does that, or if you say, how come nobody calls me? You know, let's give me a call. And if you can, you know, I'm going to ask somebody to throw in my phone number in the chat session here. But it's 646-996-6131 is my mobile. I keep crazy hours, so don't worry about the time zone. Just anytime you got something on your mind that you think I can help with the IMCP community, don't hesitate to give a shout out. Tom Vesk, Vesk Partners is the name of the company, but like I said, I'm an IMCP member for many years. Happy to help you.
And he's also our member experience chair. So I want to make sure everybody understands you're helping me out here, and we're working together to help make sure all our members are getting value for their membership is really what it boils down to at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's really important. I can't stress this enough to everybody. The partner-to-partner moments that we create in this community, that's what makes this community strong. So, you know, as long as you guys know and you gals know what you need, and you're able to say, hey, look, who's the right person for this? You know, we're able to help. You know, or hey, how can I get my voice out there a little better? So now you mentioned WorkSpan before. I'm going to say that, you know, WorkSpan is something that Microsoft put together as an answer to a place where you can partner with other Microsoft partners. So for the IMCP community, we definitely want the profiles on the imcp.org website to be updated first. And then when you go into WorkSpan, the things that you're doing in WorkSpan are not necessarily IAMCP members, they're Microsoft community members. And sometimes they're also Microsoft community partners. So there is a differentiation. And we're going to be talking about that in the coming days, because Jason and I are working on, with the committees, an onboarding process for IMCP members, so that they know where things lie, you know, where who's responsible for what, and where it's, you know, where their responsibilities start and finish, to help you get a better benefit out of your membership.
Yeah, well,
So,
thank you, Tom. I appreciate that.
Tom's information, my mobile number is area code 646-996-6131. And in the text, I see the questions chat. Somebody's got my email in there for the imcp.org. So that's americas.experience.chair thomas@iamcp.org. And only call me Thomas if you're really mad at me for something. Otherwise, Tommy's fine.
Thank you, Tommy. Appreciate that. All right. Anybody else have any other questions? Do we have any other hands raised? I see some questions. There was a question about WorkSpan replacing Index. As of right now, both are still being used. The IAMCP Index is for IAMCP partners only. So that's the difference between those two, is that WorkSpan is a Microsoft Partner Complete Partner program, and the Index is a IAMCP Partner to Partner program. So
Jason, let me jump on that. Let me add to that. So there's three websites that's been spoken about today. There's the IAMCP.org website. That's where you have a partner for IAMCP members only. So you get a moment to update your profile, and your message in your profile should be geared towards other IAMCP partners. And that's a distinction that's going to be clarified in just a minute with the next website. The IAMCP Index is another website that IAMCP partnered with a vendor to help out in getting partner to partner moments and then partner to public moments. So what you put on IAMCPindex.us is world facing, public facing. So, you know, if you're not sure what I mean by that, check with your marketing groups, or again, use my mobile number, say, what the heck were you talking about, Tom? Tell me more. So the IAMCP.org is the first place, as far as I'm concerned, where our members get the best value. The second place they get their information out there is IAMCP.index.org/US. That's a website that IAMCP members have the added benefit of driving pointers to their other marketing approaches, right? So in IAMCP.org, you may point to your company's website. IAMCP.index.us, you may point to your company's index. Okay, in both instances, you're promoting your company's resources. Now, WorkSpan is a different thing. WorkSpan is another vendor that Microsoft put together a program for, so the entire Microsoft partner community can speak to the entire Microsoft community, right? So it's partner to partner, but it's all the partners, and you have your own responsibility to vet them as you see fit. You know, whereas with the IAMCP.org, you know, this is a trusted group. I can speak to it personally, and you know, we vet each other in a different way. That's going to be different from that you'll find on WorkSpan. So you're going to have to do a little more digging, as I heard said earlier, to go looking around for resources. And you may or may not know the vendor. They might be a customer that has a product that they're trying to sell. It's a different experience. Now, LinkedIn is another place where people go. And I want you to think about all three of these websites that I've just spoke about, just like you would LinkedIn. So whatever you put on LinkedIn, you know, you would probably point your marketing dollars, marketing strategy, you point links to your website within LinkedIn. It's the same with IAMCP.org, same with IAMCPindex.us, and same with WorkSpan. So in all those instances, you want the people looking at that message to recognize you as somebody they can trust and work with. But within the IAMCP.org, it's only partner to partner. The end user never sees that information. I hope that helps.
it does. Thank you for that information, Tommy. And like you mentioned, that's all part of an onboarding process that we're working on for new members. And at the same time, we're going to be expanding some of these services to existing members also. And kind of when we look at renewals and making sure that, again, all members have all the information they can to be successful, we're going to help continue to provide great content. So, all right. Well, I think we're right about time here. I don't know if anybody else has any other questions. I see somebody's asking for the WorkSpan link, and that is just actually WorkSpan. I'll go ahead and share that one too, workspan.com. I know in the past, so I've been invited. I know, you know, you can invite other people, but there is WorkSpan is a larger product. I know in the WorkSpan, there is a Microsoft Partner part of that. And so I'm working on gathering that information and then actually looking at having that on our next call to help members get information on that. So, all right. Anybody have anything else?
Hey, Jason, this is Ro. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I was trying to turn on my video, but it wasn't working for a sec. But hey, great presentation on the WorkSpan stuff. I sit on the international board, and we were looking for examples of people who had success with WorkSpan. It sounds like you have, and maybe a couple of members on this call. Do you think maybe we can follow up later, and you can just give me a couple of names of partners that maybe I can collect up a couple of their experiences and share them with the international board?
Sure.
Hey, Ro, can you add me to that as well? I'd love to hear those.
Yeah, okay, excellent.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. All right. So looking to see if there's any other questions. I think that is all. I thank everybody for participating. I hope you got information out of this. If you're looking for information, again, please share. I'll go ahead and share my email address in the chat window also. Please don't hesitate to ask questions or reach out. And you never know, we had a conversation about somebody wanting to help out and volunteer and being part of the advocacy stuff that we're doing that turned into a conversation about working through the IMCP web process that ended up getting somebody in WorkSpan. And so you never know what kind of conversation, what a conversation will turn out to be. But it's great to have conversations, and I'm hoping we can facilitate some great ones for you. So again, I thank our guest speakers. I thank Sandra, thank everybody for participating, and I hope everybody has a great day and stay safe and healthy.
Great, thanks for putting this on, guys. Much appreciated.
No problem.
Thanks, everybody.